Hi, everybody, it's your old pal Chuck, and we're taking a look at today from the Cyberverse 2018 Warrior class line. This is Wave 2 Acid Storm. And Acid Storm is basically a straight repaint of the Wave 1 Starscream figure. I'll pause for the several of you that are just going to turn off the review now because you didn't like Starscream in the first place. Okay, so obviously they share the same jet mode. Acid Storm, is using that neon green coloring that the character has been known for. For those of you that really don't know the history of Acid Storm, way back in the 1980s, in the first G1 miniseries, we were shown, actually, no, it wasn't the G1 miniseries. It was actually, I think, a little bit later on. We were shown some Decepticon Seekers that we hadn't seen before. One of them was yellow, like a golden yellow, and the other one was this green color. The golden yellow one eventually became named in the fandom as Sunstorm and was actually featured in the Dreamwave comics, while the second one, this guy, became known as Acid Storm. And I do believe he did eventually get featured in part of the Dreamwave comics. I'm not 100% sure. But they were all known as the Rainmakers. Over time they developed a little cult following and what have you. And it's nice to see that, since Classics, it got a repaint of Starscream, and then the Masterpiece got repainted. So it's nice to see that the character's coming out, and as people have said, it's always nice to get more Seekers. But vehicle mode, let me get the Starscream out of the way here. It's what you would expect. Very simple transformation. Very simple colors. I mean, it's that neon green with some touches of yellow just to break things up. I like it. I like the way it looks. I really didn't have that much of a problem with the mold. So we'll pause and we'll get into the transformation. Okay, transformation is relatively simple. First thing what you want to do is come underneath here and just going to slide the arms down because there's little tabs there that will hook them into place. They're not really holding the arms in place. It's really to hold this front section in place. And then what you can go ahead and do is start to fold this up. When you get about to this point, go ahead, fold the nose cone down. That will snap into place. Then you can unpeg the legs from the chest section. And when you want to go ahead and fold it all the way up, this back section will snap into place. You then want to go ahead and bring the legs around, and you want to turn them this way because of the rotation gimmick. Separate them, and there you go. There you have your Acid Storm figure. And I kind of overturned a little, so there we go. Just we're trying to get him in a somewhat straight position. So yeah, if you had problems with Starscream, which was pretty much all of you, you're going to have problems with Acid Storm. The gimmick still works. You just wind the figure up, just like so, and let it rip. Just as a aside, you do want to maybe check out my good buddy E Before I in his review channel. He was kind enough to take his iPhone and shoot the gimmick in slow motion, and these inner wings do actually splay out when it's spinning. It's just very hard to see at normal speed. For those of you that missed my Starscream review, you do have this gimmick here where there is a slot underneath the landing gear that if you just line it up and push it into place. And on Acid Storm, it's a little harder to do. It will actually lock the waist into place so you don't have it spinning around and flopping around. Other than that, articulation is you do have outward movement at the hips. Nothing forward, no knees. The arms, you do have that forward and back movement, out to the side, and the bend at the elbow, and of course the head does rotate. So take a quick pause so I can transform Starscream, and we'll do a little bit of a comparison. Okay, and here I brought Starscream in, and as you can see, even though in the animation model, which we've only seen on the packaging, as of this recording, I haven't seen an episode with Acid Storm yet. They share the same head, even though they, are supposed to be two different head designs. Acid Storm was supposed to have a more square-looking bits to the peak there instead of the points. But, yeah, obviously I think, Starscream has a little bit more in terms of color going on. He's got that gray, the blue, the red, the orange, and the silver. Whereas now in robot mode, Acid Storm is still predominantly that neon green, but he has, instead of silver, more of a gunmetal gray to his joints, and only that yellow on the canopy. They both do also have red eyes, and actually silver on the face, which is very nice indeed. So, yeah, that's really about it for the robot modes. As you can see, they are molded in that pelvis forward heroic type of thing, and I do appreciate the fact that for the gimmick, the legs are, they don't have joints, because imagine having knees or something with this. Over time, it will flop around. But I know for a lot of you, you're not fans of this mold, so we'll pause and I'll give you my final thoughts. Well, for those of you who've made it to this point of the video, I do thank you. It really does. Every little bit helps. There's really nothing I can say about Acid Storm that's going to make you run out and buy it if you didn't like Starscream. It's the same gimmick, it's the same figure, just in a different color. It is nice that in the Cyberverse line, the various legions of Seekers and all the different names that have come up over the years are starting to get a little screen time. So that is a positive. I think it's a fine figure. We knew there was going to be gimmicks going in. Yes, the transformation is simple, but I don't have a problem with simple transformations. Makes for easy reviews, huh? Yeah. But, yeah, that's really about it. I got this figure off of Amazon, so if you're interested, you can find it there. Just a word of note, for some reason, Amazon is using the code names for the Cyberverse line. So if I'm not mistaken, Acid Storm is identified as Uncle Leo. Yes, all the code names are borrowed from the old Seinfeld show, except none of them are named Jerry. So if you can't find it under Acid Storm, try searching for Cyberverse Warrior Class Uncle Leo. It was about $19, which I think is a little bit more than what you would find it in traditional brick-and-mortar retail. Which I think the going price is around $16. Unfortunately, I don't see Amazon dropping the price anytime soon. We've discussed it in the past that they've been getting a little funny with their pricing. That's a rant for another time, but yeah, I'm not sure if this has shown up in brick and mortar, but I'm sure it will sooner than later. So, this is your old pal Chuck for Acid Storm. We will see you next time.